Well, guys, it's an absolute pleasure. It's Matt Young from King Parrot. Good evening, King.
How you going, brother? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah. You guys been doing the rounds a lot lately. You just done Soundwave early this year. Go over to do an international tour. You got an album coming out in May. You got a tour of Australia coming up as well. Is there anything you guys can't do?
Well, we haven't played in Antarctica yet. So we're going to put that on the list, and hopefully around on this album cycle we'll make it down to Antarctica. But no, man, we just like to keep busy and we like to tour, and we've spent a lot of time over, obviously, in North America, and we were lucky enough to also do Europe earlier this year. So we're just going to keep going, man. Just keep chipping away at it, and you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can just keep touring, man. That's what we love to do, and, you know, obviously write a few new albums along the way.
You guys also just released a new single, Like a Rat. How was it like working with Phil Anselmo in the video clip as well?
Oh, it was good, man. Yeah, we spent a bit of time with Phil back in January. Well, we went on tour with Down in December in North America, and then we stayed on and we went and recorded our new album with Phil as producer. Yeah, he was kind enough to lend his acting skills to the Like a Rat video. So, yeah, no, it was a great experience working with Phil, man. He's someone that we all respect and look up to, and you know, it's one of those things that, you know, if you had told us 3 or 4 years ago when we first started doing King Parrot that we would have recorded our next album with Phil Anselmo, I would have told you to get fucked. But it's an honour to work with someone like him. You know, he's a great guy.
I just got to ask, leading up to Soundwave here in Adelaide, there was a bit of confusion where the stages were going to be. I believe stage 4 got swapped over about 12 hours before the actual event. Were you surprised about that? Because like myself being a concert goer, we were confused where the actual stage were. Was there much confusion with you guys?
Oh, yeah, there was, man. They actually moved, they swapped the stages, so I'm not sure why they did that or how they did that or what, if there was some sort of reason behind it, but yeah, it was kind of strange that when we arrived in Adelaide that the stage that we thought we were going to be playing on, it was actually a different stage altogether, and you know, we just put our banner up and we just hoped for the best that people would see that, to see the King Parrot banner and come there, you know.
Yeah. It was just like, most of the people were just like, why is all this confusion? Because 1 minute we got the maps, next minute another band that doesn't even sound like King Parrot is on the stage, so. Yeah. But looking at all the other venues that you did, you got absolutely crushed. I think it was up at Brisbane. You were in the mosh pit doing a wall of death, and next minute you got taken out. Just tell a bit of a story about that.
Well, that was just me being a dickhead, really, and, you know, I thought, you know, we just like to have fun, and obviously we're an extreme band, and we like to take things a little bit too far. And we like to be in people's faces as well. And yeah, I guess we started doing the Wall of Death with me in the middle of it last year sometime. And yeah, it's all right in the smaller crowds, but when you're doing it at something like Soundwave, yeah, you're kind of liable to get yourself killed. And I got through most of it, and then when we got to Brisbane, some dude took my legs out, and I ended up like on the bottom of, you know, maybe like 20 or 30 people, and I thought, oh, this is ironic, I'm going to die in a wall of death. But that wasn't the case, you know. I got out of there, and luckily I didn't die. But look, it's safe to say that I'm probably not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I've had enough. People want to take me out now, so I'm staying on stage.
Yeah. Well, since the last time we spoke to you last year, there's been a new lineup change, a new drummer, but now you've got a new album called Dead Set. How's the camaraderie going with the new drummer that's been in the band? Is there a new approach compared to what you guys were doing in the past?
Oh, look, not really. Not too much. You know, Toddy Hanson's come on board now. He's been with us for about 12 months now, and we've done a bunch of touring with him, and you know, spent a lot of time overseas together, and you know, he's fit into the band great. He's an awesome guy. He's got a lot of experience. He used to play in a band called the Berserker, who were a very well-known Australian band, and he's also played in many other bands. You know, he's a Brisbane local, so we don't actually live in the same state, but we spent so much time overseas and whatnot that we kind of get away with it. But, you know, he's a great guy. He's very committed to touring, and, you know, he just sort of slipped straight into the band when we asked him to join. When Skids left, he learned the set within about 5 days, and then he flew down to Melbourne, and he had it all organised, and he was, you know, a total professional. You know, he's a great guy and a great drummer, and we couldn't have asked for anyone better to come in and fill the shoes. Yeah, it does. And it just shows a different flavour, a different chemistry. I mean, you guys always have the chemistry. I saw you here for New Dead last year, and I was smacked in the face. I don't know what to expect this time around, but I can just imagine it's just going to be as brutal as ever. Oh, you're right, man. It's going to be great, and we're really excited about, you know, coming over to Adelaide and then playing some new songs, you know, especially because it's always been a great stomping ground for us, Adelaide, and we feel like a close connection with the people there, and we have some very good friends over there, and some of our best shows have been in Adelaide, and some of the wildest and most crazy, so I'm expecting no different this time at Fowler's, and you know, hopefully all our friends will come out and make this trek out to the show, because you know, it's going to be a different King Parrot show. You know, we're going to be playing probably 8 or 9 new songs, and and I'm excited about it. You know, we've been playing the same set since we put out that first album for probably, you know, 2 or 3 years. We've been playing the same songs. You know, so adding 8 or so new songs to the set, it's going to be a challenge, man. It's going to be pretty incredible, and we're excited because we haven't done it ever before in the history of King Parrot. You know, it's always been the songs off the first album because that's all we had. So you know, new songs, it's going to be a great thing, and it's going to be interesting to see how the audience reacts to the new songs. Have you guys been getting a good reception with Like a Rat, even though it's been released as a single, but have you guys been getting such a positive feedback when you play it live? Yeah, it's been great, man. All the new songs have been going down good live. We started actually playing 3 new songs over in America, and they've been going down really well, you know. They're a little bit different. The hooks, there's more hooks in there. It's a bit catchier, I think, and something for people to sink their teeth into. So, they've been going down good, man. I'm excited to see what the Australian audience does with it. So how many songs are we looking forward to on this time around from the new album, playing live? Yeah, there's 10 songs on the new album. It's, you know, it runs just over half an hour, and, you know, we like to kind of keep things short and sweet, but there's 10 songs on the new album, and I guess, you know, like on the last album there's about 18 or 17 or something, but I think the songs are a little bit longer, and, you know, there's a bit of a different style, songwriting-wise, but it still sounds like King Parrot, that's for sure, and it's just, you know, the band's grown up a little bit since we first started writing songs, and you know, the songwriting's developed a bit more, and there's a bit more space in the songs, I think, as well. And we wanted to just let them breathe and let the riffs do the talking a little bit. And when the vocals come in, they're there for maximum impact. And I think you'll hear that when you listen to the new album. Was any type of game plan or any structure for this album? You just mentioned that the songs are a little bit longer than previous songs on another album. But was there any type of game plan that you guys had in mind for this album? Oh, look, not really, man. We just sort of, you know, the way that the album was written was completely different to the first album. I guess when we did the first album, we wrote the songs over a year or so, and we were just jamming in the jam room and trying to get a set together so we could play live. Whereas this time around, you know, we'd already written all those songs, you know, and we spent a month in the woods up in Vermont, in America. We had a month off in between tours, and we just sat up in there with all our gear, and we wrote the new album. And it was a different, it's kind of different when you in one place for a reasonable length of time, and you're just concentrating on writing music. You're going to get different results, and that's what happened with this record. I think it's a much different album, but I think it's a big step forward for us. And obviously getting to record with Phil down in Louisiana in January, and having Phil Anselmo as a producer, that's going to show in the album as well, and I really think it does. It's a real nasty sounding piece of work, and it's a very organic and real sounding album, and
yeah.
That's what we wanted. We wanted a true reflection of what the band is, and there's no tricks, and there's no gimmicks, and there's no bullshit. It's just 100% King Parrot.
Now, it's always great to see what you guys are doing, especially in the last 12 months. You've been rising the bar big time. You're going over to America, come back, do a festival, then back over to America. Like I said, there's nothing stopping you. But what are the plans of doing another international tour? Are you going back to Europe anytime shortly, or?
I think pretty much as soon as we're done with this Australian tour, bro, we're going back over to North America, and we're going to do an extensive tour over there.
Yep.
We've got about 2 months lined up, and we're going to be hitting pretty much every town, city, place that we can think of over 2 months. We'll be doing, teaming up with a couple other bands for shows. All that stuff hasn't been announced yet, but it's coming up pretty soon. We'll be going all the way through Canada, and then after that, I'm pretty confident that we'll be heading over to Europe as well, pretty much straight after. So yeah,
it's unbelievable. Like I said, I don't know how you guys can keep up with everything. But like I said, is there anything else you guys haven't done? Also, some great news coming out. You guys are up for an award, I believe, over in the European market.
Yeah, we got nominated for a Metal Hammer Golden Gods Award, just recently, and it's the best new band, so that's, that was an honour to be...
Well, Matt, we've got 5 minutes to go, man, and I've got to say, I've heard the album, and one of my favourite songs is probably towards the second half, a song called Punisher. Can you just explain to the fans the story behind the song there?
Yeah, I could if I wanted to. I guess. Punisher. Well, I guess when you're being on the road so much and you're out there and you're talking to people all the time and stuff, and I guess when you get to shows sometimes and there's that person that'll just talk your ear off, and it usually happens every night. There's someone there that gets way too drunk, fucking hanging off you, spitting in your face, screaming down your ear hole about some bullshit that they probably won't even remember. That's kind of what that song's about,
And I've got to ask, will this album be released on vinyl? Because I know a lot of kids nowadays are going for the vinyls as well.
Yeah, man, it certainly is. If you get onto nervegas.com.au, you can pick up the record on vinyl, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think our label in America, which is Housecore Records, and our label in Europe is Agonia Records, they've all releasing the album on vinyl. So, and they're all doing different versions of it and everything. So, it's something for everyone there. Yeah, well, you love vinyl, man. That's definitely something that we will always do.
Yeah. I just want to ask, man. I know it happened with you guys, like having a new lineup change and that, but quite regularly now, especially in the Australian music scene, it's been regularly lineup change. Is that what keeps the music fresh?
Oh, look, I don't know about that, I mean, I think if in a perfect world you would have the same lineup all the time, but I think people's situations change and life happens, and sometimes people need to move on from what they're doing. there's no hard feelings sort of with King Parrot, with any of our previous members.
No.
We understand that, and it's made very clear that, you know, when you come into the King Parrot camp, that,
Yeah.
you know, if your situation changes, then let's just talk about it and see what we can do to work it out. I think that's the best way to go about it. You know, there's no need to
Exactly.
hate people over it, or no need to you know, cause any bullshit. I think it's a good thing just to be able to talk about it openly and honestly, and if your times come, then your times come, and
Yep.
that's cool. You know, there's always, you know, other people that are willing to sort of step in. So, that's how we kind of try and deal with it with King Parrot anyway.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, I don't care about the politics. I just care about the band as a whole. But there's a band, like we had bands galore on our show, and it's just disappointing that some of the members that have been on our show have left. I mean, another band from Melbourne that's been on our show, Mason, they're not around anymore, and it's just a bit heartbreaking. But at the same time, we get it. If they've got other avenues or other ideas, what they want to do, all hats for them. But it's just a little bit disappointing. It is what it is.
It is, mate. Yeah, it is a shame. They're a good band, Mason, too, and they're good buddies of mine. And I saw that they sort of pulled the pin on it recently, and which is a shame. But you know, at the same time, that they're all good, talented musicians, and you know, I'm sure they'll get into something else pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, you guys are always on the rise. I'm very surprised that Rage played your video clip a couple of weeks ago here in Australia, like a rat, and I was absolutely godsmacked. 3 o'clock in the morning, here's King Parrot on national TV on ABC.
Well,
but
you can expect to see a lot more of that, brother.
Yeah, I know. But the good thing about it is you guys are getting the recognition that you deserve. I mean, you weren't there for anybody else. You were there to do what you love, and whatever happens after that, it's a reward. But you guys just keep going on the rise and the rise, and I can't see anything slowing you guys down anytime soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. We got to keep going, man. Well, when the momentum's going, you just got to roll with it, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you just got to control slats a bit, mate. No, it's all right.
Mate, you can try if you like, mate. I've already tried. It doesn't work.
I know. He's just a character, man. I mean, the last time I saw him here with you guys in Adelaide, you guys were firing on all cylinders, and Slats, like you, just never stops. Just never stops.
He is. He's an animal, and he's a great guy, and we love having him in the band, and, you know, he's an awesome dude, you know. He's a very funny character, always has been, and I've known him for a very long time. We've been friends for a long time, and it's great that we got to play in a band together now, and that we're getting to travel around the world and play all these great shows. It's awesome.
Well, guys, if you haven't checked out King Parrot, you are missing one of the great Australian bands that's been around. They've got a new album coming out called Dead Set in May. It's got a lot of new tracks on it. The song's a little bit longer, as we just mentioned. But if you want to get your tickets, please do so. They're selling at all venues right across Australia. They are supported by local talents in each state as well. So go and check them out as well. And, Matt, it's always a pleasure having you on our show, man.
Thank you very much for your support. We always appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with you when we get to Adelaide, bro.
Thanks, mate. Take it easy.
Have a good one, man. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Bye.